Hello guys, just Goran here and welcome back to building the Beekse Bergen. Today we are back at the Africa village. I did some stuff off camera in this area, which is where we worked on the last episode. And I kind of got stuck eventually. I redid a bunch of the roads. I did this little road over here, put in this fence, worked on this little bulge of terrain, which is going to be a playground. It was my plan for today's episode to get started on this area, but I thought I had enough pictures of this place, but I soon figured out that the few photos I had were not gonna cut it, and I just couldn't really find out where everything was placed relative to one another, and Google Maps isn't helping because this place is full of trees. So I'm gonna have to wait until the zoo opens back up again, which might be a while, before I can get back to work on this. Oh yeah, by the way, these buses are freaking amazing. I'm not sure who makes them. They are made by Cool Dog, apparently. And yeah, these things are incredible. They look super cool. I removed some of the decorations on them, just so that they look a bit more like the buses they have at the actual Beekse Bergen. But they're pretty damn close, so yeah, it's pretty great. And yeah, so that's just to give us the impression that there are actual buses here. Just imagine this thing looking like that thing, basically. Bit of a shame we don't have a real safari bus, but well, what do you do? But that isn't everything I did off camera, because when I got stuck over there, I decided, okay, let's get back to work on an area we've been before, and I ended up in the Africa village, where there's still some things left to do. I've made this little seating area, which is it's a pretty interesting structure because they got these two different roofs. At first I thought it was just one roof, so I built it incorrectly and had to redo that part. But now we've got it all in place with I used kind of the same custom roofing as we did on these buildings, and yeah, overall it's just made out of a lot of little wooden pieces that is all pieced together. And then there's these plant pots, seating area, and these two bars, which I have never actually seen anyone sell stuff. But not that it matters for us, because there's no way that we can hide a shop in here, because it's all out in the open. Now at first there were the occasional people walking through this place, and they would go through this bar, but ever since I put all the chairs in, I suppose it is no longer the shortest route for them to take. So they kind of stopped walking here, which is a bit of a shame, because I like seeing people walk around in the stuff I built, but at the same time it's nice that they don't walk through the bars anymore. But yeah, today what's also pretty cool is the decorations in the ceiling. I've used these bamboo pieces that are new, as well as these rope pieces to kind of tie down the bamboo pieces, which looks really cool. And it's nice because these bamboo pieces are bamboo pieces in the roof, kind of like this. So I immediately was like, oh cool, we have those now, and placed them down. Yeah, pretty great. But today we are moving on to over here. The goal is to get this area kind of done. Let's try to think not too big. So that includes a playground, a bunch of forest, just plants and stuff, and a staff building, which is, I think, a stall for the springbok, but I'm not sure what's inside of there. So I've already gotten started on the playground area by putting down this little fence that divides it from the rest, as well as these little benches. This playground material stuff is from the workshop and was already here. I'm not sure how much of it is going to be usable, because I need to take a look at what is actually inside this playground at all. Okay, we're starting to get some progress in here. I've put down some plants, and we've got our first playground element, I guess. I'm not sure what to call it. But yeah, it's a bit of a climbing frame for little kids. They can get up here. There's several ladders. There's this little kind of wall climb section that they can crawl into the thing with, and then they can make their way through. So we have the real life one and the one that we built. And what that picture also tells me is that we actually have these benches over here. These picnic benches are in the right position as well, which is pretty great. And yeah, so other than a bunch more trees back here, that kind of angle is pretty much fully recreated. Yeah, running into a couple of issues here where I made this thing a bit bigger, which is why this thing which should be more over here, can't fit in its original spot. Meanwhile, this thing's also a bit bigger than it should be in the scale that we're working at, so that's also gonna kind of be pushing it. So this seesaw is gonna, let's see, it's supposed to be kind of over here, but let's put it a bit more over here and rotate it like that. That should be fine. Alright, we're getting started on the last thing already. I've made these little swings. I think it's kind of dangerous the way I built them. In real life it looks more like they can't actually run into each other, but it looks like if everyone's going to be swinging at the same time there might be some collisions. But just put up a little sign like, hey, proceed at your own risk or something. I don't know. I'm sure this is not a lawsuit waiting to happen. What are you talking about? No, but over here we've got here a very complex shape made out of wood. I'm not super happy with the finish of the roof, but it's just not possible to do it any better, I don't think. So this is kind of our basic pillar thing. Let me get you the image. So over here we have the thing we're building. So we've got 3 of these kind of things which are exactly the same, and this one's a bit taller than the rest, so we just have to copy the same one and sink it down a bit and rotate it around so it fits. But I think other than that they're exactly the same. And then if we put them in the right spots, all we have to do is build the kind of bridges between them, and that will be it done. And then in the back here there's like another extra platform where there's a zip line. Ooh. Okay, I realized that I only have the one picture of this, so I'm gonna have to improvise a little bit from this point on, because I can't quite make out how the connection with the zipline works exactly. But we've got the 3 little towers, got some climbing, like netting stuff going on, which is pretty cool. I've used the bunting rope, so it's nice and small. Then we've got this little, well, stick rope bridge and a plank bridge. And now all we need to do is there need to be kind of a similar climbing thing like we have over here on this thing. And then we need to connect up with the zip line. Alright, we have finished it. Well, everything but the cable going over here, but first we're gonna put the thing in the right spot. So let me open Google Maps and see what it should be like. So we want to rotate it a bit more like, oh, okay, one thing's missing. Now looking at Google Maps and the picture itself, I think it's safe to assume that the slide should kind of be facing a bit more forward towards the path, and the position of this thing should be a bit more this way, but not too much, because well, I mean, these swings are also kind of too big, so I guess their position, can't really use the relative position in that sense, but we definitely should be back a bit more. So let's put it over here. I think something like this is gonna do the job. It's also just in general just a nice spread of all the items. So now we have over here a little ramp, and that will go this way, where we'll make a little tripod. There we go. That is the zip line. You can kind of see it. I mean, that's kind of how they always hang around, right? They're like so close to the ground, and all limp and stuff, and it makes you wonder like, am I gonna be able to sit on that? Like, aren't I just gonna drag across the ground? So when you ride them, you make extra sure that you're throwing your feet as high up into the air as possible. So yeah, that's the zip line. I didn't really properly show you the swings yet, I don't think. I actually did some terrain modification here, because usually with the swings, because everyone's kind of using their feet to brake, there's always kind of a hole underneath each of the swings, so I got that in. And yeah, that's pretty much the playground, content-wise, complete. So time to put a bunch of trees in here, and other types of bushes and stuff, and then we can get started on what's behind. And today on Being Frustrated with Planet Zoo, we can't seem to recolor this without it resetting to the wrong type of fence. So we have to put down fence and then recolor it. Oh, but now it didn't do the thing, so we've got to recolor it again. We're making progress though. Let me just get this fence in place. But as you can see, we've got a bunch of foliage in, and I've got the main building over here kind of neatened up with these same materials as we made this one out of. Now the main difference between these two buildings is that this one was accessible from the inside, so we made the entire interior. This one is not accessible by people. Therefore, I'm not really going to put any effort into the interior. We might try to make it look a little bit good from up top, so whatever you see through these windows is kind of cleaned up. But the inside is just kind of to contain this keeper hut. So we've got this little backstage area over here that needs some neatening up, as well as this kind of, I don't know what it is. So yeah, we've got this fence going along, and I think over there's a bunch of gates to let the animals in. I guess it's just, I'm thinking it's their night house or something, but I really don't know what it would be. And over here we've got a nice gate as well, and over here you can see the mesh fence. So yeah, I'm a bit lost on what exactly this place is, which kind of makes it hard to build, because I have to improvise because I only have so many pictures of it. So yeah, that's really the difficulty with these backstage areas. Now I'm gonna see if I have some workshop items that we can decorate the backstage area with, and then we'll check on this place to see what we can do about it. Alright, I've kept it quite simple. I decided to just leave this stuff all pretty closed off and low detail, because it's so far away from like any viewable area that you're never really gonna see it, so it makes no sense to put too much effort into it. Now this backstage area I still want to do a little bit more with, perhaps. Right now I've thrown about a bunch of enrichment items, which, oh, what the hell? That's odd. Does it do that every time you like load and unload it? Oh, what's happening? But yeah, we've got some stuff, some of it is from the workshop. This propane tank I've made myself, and I've actually uploaded onto the workshop, so if you want to use that, go ahead. I just now noticed though that perhaps I want it a little more, hello? Bit more like that. I prefer the top to be smoother than the bottom. But yeah, it's on the workshop, so if you want it, you can get it there. There's also a smaller version, and as always, there's a link to my workshop page in the description of every one of my videos, so you can find it there. So yeah, now we've got this nice backstage area that you can just barely make out through the shrubs as it is in real life. I'm really happy with that. I'm actually really happy with how this playground turned out as well. This one's not my favorite, it's a bit messier than the rest, but I mean it was the first one, so naturally you kind of get better at stuff as you go on, and I'd never built a playground in this game before, so yeah, this though, oh, I'm so happy with it. Like, it came out super well. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit more stuff in this area, and then I'm gonna check how long the episode's getting, because I haven't really been keeping track, and then I'll see you in a little bit. I plan to do more, but this took me like 2 hours. Oh my god, no, more than that. Possibly even more than that. Yeah, this was crazy, stupid amounts of work. But I mean, oh no, I think it's worth it. Like, this thing is really, really cool. So what we have over here, we've got a beehive. And normally there's like chain link in front of it, but that's not gonna happen. Over here we've got the real life one. So yeah, just a whole bunch of logs, sticks of reed and bamboo, put in there, and that's what we recreated over here. So this is one of the things I've been meaning to build for a long time. Most of the things in this area are, because this is actually one of the first areas we built. But yeah, I've been postponing this for the longest time, partially because of how much work this was going to be. But I'm actually really happy I postponed it so long, because now we have these new bamboo pieces, and that just adds so much to the look of this. Like, it is fantastic. So now all that there's left to do about this thing really is bee population decline, and just hide that in there. Let's see how far we can go. And we're gonna have to put it down a bit as well, but that's fine. So let's hope that there's now gonna be the occasional person actually having a look at that, because that would be super cool. Oh yes, see? Oh, that's so cool! Yeah, they're actually looking at it! Yeah, they're looking at the bees! Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay, fantastic. This thing is definitely going on the workshop right now. I'm gonna put it on. I just have to merge it with that little... Let's see, where is it? Well, I'll do that off camera. So yeah, I wanted to get more of this area done, but that took so long. I'm gonna have to end off the episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. In the next video we will probably be continuing to work on this area. Finally, because yeah, this has been a barren wasteland of cheetahs for far too long. And I'm really in the mood of... and right now I'm really in the mood of getting this area kind of finished, because we are getting very, very close now that we have this stuff done. So yeah, next episode, greenery, cheetah habitats, and probably a hyena habitat revisit, because there's some stuff I want to change about this one. Because ever since we built this, I've kind of started to develop our tree palette for the zoo. So we need to get rid of some of these elms and holly trees. But yeah, that's all for next episode. See you guys then. Thanks for watching and have a good day.